Hey gang, it's Ark. Welcome back to Off the Beaten Track. This is episode 2. As you can see, we're going to be covering Coastal Highway. Before we get started, I just wanted to thank everyone for the fantastic response to the first episode where we covered the ravine. I was very pleasantly surprised to see that there are a lot of people who are interested in this kind of thing. I thought it might just be me. Alright, so for this episode, I've been to most of these peaks that sort of ring the Coastal Highway region. We're close to the top of this one. This is kind of in the northeast corner. You can see we've got the Quonset, Coastal Town Site, both islands. There's the log sort. There's the fire tower in the middle of the screen. And this is a great region for sort of getting used to practicing this type of thing, because there's a lot of ways to get sort of out of the edge of the map up here on this northeast side, and then there's a lot of just like mountainous things to climb around on up here. Now I have been to the very peak of this, but the view isn't that great from up there, which is why we're down here. Most of the other mountains I've been close to the peak. Just saw the birds spawning over there. That was odd. Now, yeah, I've climbed that mountain. I've climbed all of those down at the far end, and I believe I climbed both of those as well. Now, we're not going to do all of that today. It would take way too long. So I'm going to show you three primary things. One is a sort of mini shortcut that I found from the transition from Ravine over to the Cinder Hills coal mine that takes you to Pleasant Valley. And on the way, I'm going to show you something very unusual that I found up in the mountains. And then lastly, we'll climb that peak in the middle of the screen. I believe that's the tallest mountain in the region. It has a very unusual route to get up there with some interesting stuff. So let's go do that now. Now, I'm going to use the same technique that I did in the previous episode, but I've already got a save on here. So this is a custom game. It's Pilgrim settings. I've changed base resources to low and indoor spawns off to force this spawn up here. And I've also turned sprains off. This waterfall will be instrumental in our hike up to the top of that mountain later on, so just keep that in mind. Now, there's a few ways to get up here. I'm going to use this one right at the edge of this rock. You can squeeze up here. And you have to be very careful here. If you go up this way, right where that tree meets the wall, there's an instant kill screen that it essentially treats it as if you've fallen. Similar to the ones of those that exist in the ravine. So we come down here instead, the kill screen is up there, and also if you're up there and you turn around and try to get higher, there's another kill screen, which is very odd. They're the only ones that I managed to find in this whole region, and there's a lot of space here. So I have a theory about that I'll talk about in a second. So we're going to continue along here. There's a little invisible wall up here that we have to get around right here. Down there is a cabin. I think it's blocked by this tree right now. Yeah, there it is. That's that sort of little secluded cabin that not a lot of people know about, from what I understand. Alright, so we go back here and continue along this wall. And right up here, you can see that there is a deer carcass up there. We'll go take a closer look at that. But we are steeply in the non-playable area here. Like, this is not an intended part of the region. And so my theory... Let's get down here. My theory is that those kill walls back there and this deer carcass were part of a plan to have some playable terrain up here that they scrapped at some point. This does seem to always be here, although that could have to do with the loot settings that I'm using for this run. But yeah, you can come up here and get a few extra calories if you want. Just don't walk into the kill wall. Alright, now you can get up higher. This is one of the areas that you could go explore some of these various mountains. We're not going to show that today. Instead, we're going to go do this shortcut over to the coal mine. There's a few different ways to get over here. I haven't practiced this route or anything. I just know that if you walk this way, you'll get there. This is the sort of thing that you'd want to practice and get it nailed down really accurately before a run. One of the things I'm doing here is I'm just walking on slopes without any concern. But if you're trying to do this in a real run, then you'd probably want to plan your route so that you'd have flat surfaces to stand on periodically so you wouldn't get sprains. Almost have a good view of the coast there. This rock is kind of in our way. Okay, so here I believe we want to just get on this shelf. I'll go down here. Here's a good viewpoint. You can see we're just above the log sort now, so there's a path that comes right up there. And we're going to go basically meet that. And here we are. Now the only trick is to get down without hurting ourselves. You can come right to the mine here. Now there is typically a wolf that patrols over that way, so you manage to skip that via this. You can also, if you want to go to the fire tower, there's a way to get up to the left here on this side of the road and follow that over until you get to the tower, and then you can just cross the road. And that reduces the chance that you'll have to tangle with that wolf. Alright, so that's that shortcut. Let's go back to the main menu here. And I'm just going to load up the same game. We didn't do anything to save our progress there, because this spawn point is right next to the trailhead for getting up to the tallest mountain. So once again, keep in mind the waterfall over there. That's going to be... it's going to come into play later on. So we're just going to sneak along the edge here, and then we can just barely squeeze up on here if we're crouched. I'll go ahead and stand up when the game lets me. This trail is really interesting. It's one of those things where you have to do a whole bunch of different minor things to get just where you need to be. And if one of those things wasn't possible, then the whole route would fall apart. So it was pretty interesting trying to work this one out. So right now we're just kind of going back and forth, and I'm trying to remember, I think we can get up on top of this now. I don't know these routes really well. It looks like this is wrong. So instead, I'm going to go and just walk up this way, and hopefully we'll be able to get up to... yeah, we can just walk up this. I've only done this, I think, twice now. Okay, I think this is our turning point where we come back around. Yeah, so if you try to go up further and come around this way, these surfaces are too steep You can use this trick to see if something is climbable. Like that's a climbable thing because it's less than a 90 degree angle. So you can walk on that. These are not. So you can't go along here, and you can't climb. If you come along here, then you end up too low to be able to continue there. So this is the best we can do, and then we'll just sneak down onto this rock down here. So we're actually coming back around over the spawn point. Now I'm going to run here. I think there's probably a better way to do that, but yeah, you can probably start off slightly higher. But it worked. This is roughly the route that I took before. You can sneak around here. Now we've come up along that wall, and we're headed towards the waterfall. You can hear that up ahead. Those crows are over a body down in the river, I think, down below the tracks. Okay, now I don't think I have to run here to get up here. Nope, it looks like you stick to the wall here. And then we'll come around this way. I'm hoping I'm not making a mistake here. Let's just run and loop around. There we go, that worked. I think you can also just stand on the ledge that was slightly below me there. Now here, this log intrigued me for a long time when I was trying to find a way through here, because I want to get up to that ledge up there. So I thought, well, what if I try to climb on this log and get around there? But unfortunately, this is too steep to climb. And even when you get up here later, when you drop down on this log, you can't actually get up to that ledge. But we will be getting up there in a minute. So here we are at the waterfall. I'm going to stay as high as possible here, coming around this ledge, then we'll stand up and stay up on this ledge. Now, this is one of the harder jumps. If you don't know exactly what you're doing, this is a good time to put the bedroll down and sleep for an hour to save the game. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go for it. Uh-oh. Looks like I did not make it. So what I'm going to do is try to redo it. I think if I can just get over there, we'll be okay. So let's back up a little bit, run over here, and I should be able to just redo. If I had dropped down even further than that, then I'd have to go really far back. Okay, so redoing this, getting up as high as we can here, and then lining up against this. I've got to get up on top of that rock over there. Okay, we made it this time. So we're across the waterfall, and now we're going to come back around and go across it again in a minute. Not yet, it's too soon. We're now up above the train loading area, trailer. I'm all the way along the train tracks up high here. And at this point, you could have to get a little higher first. Do some running here, just to speed things up. It's not necessary, but... Okay, so from here you could go up that way and get up higher. You could go try to climb those mountains over there. But we are going to go back this way. Now we're going to come right back across the waterfall up high. Fortunately, we've got these logs and clumped snow to walk on. Then we have to come up here and walk along this wall. Okay, so here's the point that I told you about before. There's the log with the too steep to climb there, and then this. It's too bad, because it would be so nice if you could drop down onto the log and then get up there. But unfortunately, we have to do another risky jump. Now, this one's easier, but if you mess it up, there's no way to redo it. So wish me luck. I think we made it. Yep, we got it. Now from here, it's relatively straightforward. So we're just going to continue to get higher and higher. To go around here, gain some more altitude. And then I believe we want to start from back here. And now we can walk up here. Getting up really high here. The mountain is still looks really tall even from here. Now, this is one of those unfortunate places where the terrain isn't quite finished. So, just have to pretend that it's more realistic than it looks. Now, this slope here is walkable, so I'm just going to come over here. You probably should run and try to jump this, but I think it's, yeah, I'm completely supported there. There's sort of an invisible surface to walk on. Alright, I think that's the last of those we have to deal with. And now, from here, really, this is just a game of triangles. You're finding the triangles that you can walk up, going to the point, and then continuing along. And the textures up here are very low resolution, because, of course, you're not intended to be here. Here's another triangle that we can walk up to the point of, and keep going around. Getting very high up above the coast here. And I believe, yeah, there's no way to get up there, so we're going to come around this way. I believe we can get on top of this and sneak our way up there. Not that it really matters. There's another way to climb once we get to that hill over there. And hopefully the weather holds. Actually, this is a pretty good view here. Let's go ahead and take this in now because the weather might change later. Pretty good outline of everything, and we don't get that. Which is something that tends to happen as you get high up. You get little places where they didn't really think that you'd be looking at it from that angle. A little bit of a glitch, I think, with that mountain over there, where there's a gap between the mountains in front and the ones in the back. But if you look at it from just the right angle, then it looks pretty good. Looks like it is fogging over just a little bit, so we probably won't have the greatest view when we get up here. You'll just have to do this on your own if you want to see it. Alright, now I think it is worth it to come around this way. Even though we're going downhill, we can get up significantly higher. I'm trying to remember, there's a certain point at which it's better to turn back and go the other way, but I don't think we've reached it yet. Got to be able to get... Can't quite get onto that triangle, but I think there's one up here that we can get onto. Yeah, and then we can walk back up here and get onto this one. Let's go up to this point. We can't sneak our way up there. Let's go over here. Yeah, here we can go up. Starting to be able to see a lot of the outside of the map from up here, especially over this way. So you can probably sneak up a little bit higher, like right here. I don't think you can climb this slope. Or at least I can't get up there. So I think probably the best view would be, assuming we can stay... Don't seem to be able to actually support ourselves on that. So probably the best view then would be somewhere out here. Yeah, where you're not blocked by that wall there. Might be possible to get a little bit higher up, and you can come up here and play around with it. I think I've actually gotten up to that level right there. And there's still a little bit more to go after that. But at a certain point, all the slopes are too steep to climb. But there you have it. Got a good view of... there's the train. We've come significantly far behind the spawn point here. There's the loading area with the trailer over there. You can see the road snaking up towards there. It's unusual. I can't think of any place else on the map where you can see that road that clearly. Can't really see the river from here. There's the bridge. So the river must kind of run up this way. I can just barely see the docks at the fishing huts there, and then of course both of the islands out that way. Alright, well, there's a lot more to see in this region, but I think those are the key things that I wanted to show you guys. And yeah, thanks for being here with me for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.